What's up, good people? This is First Generational Wealth Building, where we focus on transforming our money mindset, our money habits, and our money beliefs. I'm Ashanze, aka Zay, and today was supposed to be episode 2 of my investing series. However, in light of current events, I think it's better to focus on the current environment and things we should be doing to prepare for what I believe is the upcoming 2020 recession. So today in this video, I'm going to talk about what my wife and I plan to do to prepare for this recession, as well as tips and things you should be considering during this time as well. So if this is something that you really want to know, I highly advise you stick around and watch this entire video. But before we jump into the details, guys, of course, I need you to like this video as well as subscribe to my channel so we can get this to other first generational wealth builders and help them prepare as well. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. The very first thing we plan to do to prepare for this recession in 2020, and I've talked about this time and time again, so this should not be a shocker to you if you watched any of my other videos, but the very first thing is to pay off debt. Yes, we are still focusing on paying off our debt. During this time of a recession, you definitely want to reduce the load on your household. So focusing on paying off debt is really going to help you because, if there is a time of downsizing or slowdown, you don't want to have extra debt hanging over your head and have that concern or that worry about how am I going to pay this stuff off. So while we're still in it early, I highly advise anybody to continue to focus on paying off debt. That's what we're going to be doing, and I highly advise anybody else to be doing the same. In addition to focusing on paying off any debt, also consider refinancing any debt, whether it's student loans, your mortgage, or a car loan. The Fed just recently implemented or said that they're going to be slashing interest rates to 0%. So a lot of short-term loans are going to be have very low interest rates, and so you wanted to try to take advantage if you have a good credit score to take advantage. So the very first thing we plan to do, and that I highly recommend, is to look at paying off your debt or refinancing your debt. So the second thing that we plan on doing during this economic downturn / recession is we're going to boost our emergency fund. So times like this, cash is king. You want to have cash on hand for two reasons. Number one is for emergencies. Again, as I mentioned, downsizing or just a lack of having income coming in. And number two is investing. So you do want to try to take advantage of the deals that are going on, and we're going to get into that in a later point. But what I really want to focus on is just boosting your emergency fund. So right now, my wife and I, we currently have 3 months emergency fund stashed away. But in times like this and uncertain times, it's really going to be key for you to boost that. So we have a plan in place to go from 3 months to 6 months. And that's just to provide us with a cushion, again, during these uncertain times. So what I would recommend to you guys, if you're watching this video, is to consider boosting your emergency fund, or if you don't have one, starting one. And again, we've covered this time and time again, but times like this is when it's important to have an emergency fund. So you definitely want to either consider starting that emergency fund or boosting your emergency fund, because again, cash is king in times like these. So that's going to be the second thing you want to focus on. So the third thing we plan to do during this, to prepare for this economic recession in 2020, is we're going to be upping our investing. So you heard me right. We are going to be investing more into the market. The reason why we're going to be investing more into the market is because you really want to take advantage of the sales and discounts that we have available. It's just like when you see stores have these blowout fire sales and they're selling everything for 60-70% cheap because they want to get rid of their inventory. Well, you have to view the stock market the same way. We have blue chip and value stocks and quality brands and companies that are on sale right now. They are down 30-40%. Some of these companies are, and you have to keep the long haul in the forefront of your mind and understand that this time isn't going to last forever. Recessions do not last forever, and the market will eventually bounce back. So, and when it does, you want to have gotten in when it was low. There's the famous saying, buy low, sell high. This is exactly the opportunity that we are seeing now, to buy low, and when the market bounces back, we can sell high. So my wife and I, we plan on upping our investments. And just to give you a little bit more detail, how we plan to do that is I've actually upped my contribution limit to my 401k. Currently, I was doing 10%. I'm actually going to bump that up to 15%. We've pretty much close to maxed out my wife's 401k already. So we can't really do much there, but within our IRAs, we're going to fully max those out. And then we've also went ahead and opened a brokerage account through Vanguard. Now, for those who are new to investing, you can use apps like Robinhood, Ellevest, M1 Finance, and I'll put a referral link down in the description of this video so you can download those. But those are all apps that can help get you started investing in the market. And so what my wife and I plan to do is upping our investments, because we want to take advantage of the sales that we see. So that's going to be the third thing that we plan to do during this economic recession. So the fourth thing we plan to do to prepare for this economic recession, or during this recession, is we plan to live within our means and continue to identify ways to cut back on expenses. So this is a huge tip, because this is not the time to be going out splurging and doing extra things that aren't necessary. As I mentioned earlier, cash is king, and so you really want to be saving as much as possible, because we're in a time that no one has really ever seen. So it's a lot of uncertainty. So you want to make sure that you aren't, living outside of your means, or just still out here splurging. So, we plan to, and we already do this, so it's not going to be a major change for us. We do pretty well of living within our means. But for us, it's going to be more of the latter, which is identifying ways to cut back. So, I believe our gym is going to be closed down. So maybe, we might cancel our gym membership for the foreseeable future and do more at-home workouts, because, we can't go to the gym. So that's wasted money. I know for myself, I have commuter benefits. So I'm thinking about pausing them for the time being, because I'm working from home. I'm not going into the office, so that would be a waste of money for me to continue to pay for these benefits that I'm not using. So those are just two examples of ways we plan to cut back. So I would implore you guys to take a look at your budget, identify things that you're like, hey, you know what? I can't really do anything with this right now, so why not cut it and save more money? So again, tip number 4 is to really, live within your means and identify ways to cut back on expenses that are no longer going to be useful during this uncertain time. So the fifth thing we plan to do to prepare for this economic recession, and this is really going to be a tip for anybody watching this video, is we are not panicking and selling our investments. So you heard it right. Do not panic and sell your investments. The only time you really take a loss is when you sell. You only take an L when you sell, is what I like to say. Now, right now, you may be looking at your 401k or your investments and you see a negative, but that's only a paper loss. It's not realized. That is an unrealized loss right now. And if you give the market time to bounce back, that loss could eventually turn into a gain. And again, you haven't really lost any money because you haven't really sold. So at this point in time, I know it's bad. I know it feels, it's just that feeling of like uncertainty and being scared. But again, you don't want to panic. You don't want to sell your investments while they're down. Give the market time to bounce back. And that's when you really want to look to sell. So tip number 5 is what I implore you guys is to try not to panic financially right now. I believe this virus is very serious, and all the other things that are going on, you do want to take those serious, but find a way to separate that from the money aspect, because they really are two totally totally different entities, and you don't want to panic and sell your investments. So that's the fifth thing that we are doing to prepare for this recession, is we are not going to panic and sell our investments. All right, so number 6, we are focusing on the long haul, guys. I mentioned this earlier in the video. You really want to focus on the long haul. As I mentioned, this isn't going to last forever. People are going to start flying again. People are going to be taking cruises again. People are going to be out and about again. And so you have to understand that when that happens, the market is going to bounce back. Like, life is going to go back to normal. So with that in mind, we are setting ourselves up for when that happens. So whether it be investing, whether it's building our emergency fund, just really focus on the long haul. Focus on habits that during this time can help propel you into the long haul, whether it be things at home or just spending more time with family and getting to know family. Whatever it is that you wanted to do for the long haul is going to be a great time for you to really focus on that, because of this economic shutdown and you not really being able to do much. So that tip is really, geared towards, investing and planning for the future. However, there's other things you can take into account, when it comes to building habits or changing habits that you want to focus on for the long haul. So really that tip is just, don't get caught up in this short-term, crisis right now. Do realize that we're going to find a cure. There's, going to find a vaccine, and all of this stuff will get solved eventually. And so while, yes, it's crazy right now, it's not going to last forever. So I would just say, make sure you just focus on the long haul, as well as, keeping your focus on the short term as well. So just find that balance. So tip number 7 that we are doing to prepare for this recession is we are actually building our IA. Now, IA stands for intellectual assets. So I'm talking about, we are taking online trainings, anything we can do to continue to build our skills and give us more, or give us any other type of technical expertise in our fields, because this is the time where we can really build our skills and build ourselves up. So if you want to look to make a strategic career move, you've taken the time to really study and learn, and gotten your new certifications or that new training that you needed. So what I would employ people to do is, while you're stuck at home, look into those online trainings, look into those online certifications that you've been putting off, because now you have an opportunity to go ahead and get it. And so again, when we come out of this downturn, you are ready to take advantage of the opportunities. I probably said this 1,000 times, of taking advantage of opportunities, but in times like this, that is what is happening. These are prime opportunities that are being presented to us, and if we don't take advantage of them, we're going to miss the boat, and we're going to, sit back and look back and say, damn, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have did that. So, if there's anything you've been putting off, whether it was for your career or just a side hustle or something like that, take this time to really hone in and get it done, because again, you have prime opportunity, guys, prime opportunity. And so the last thing that we are doing to prepare for this economic recession is we are creating side hustles. So my wife for the longest wanted to refurbish furniture. So we have been looking into finding old furniture, and since we can't really go out, we've stocked up on a few supplies at Home Depot, and we're going to start our venture of refurbishing home furniture. For myself personally, you guys know I do financial coaching, so I'm ramping that up. This is the perfect time, actually, because a lot of people aren't sure what they should be doing, and so offering financial coaching to help others is a way for me to generate some type of side income. So for you guys that are watching this, think about something you've always wanted to do, and now you have the time to do it. Sit down, build that business plan that you've been putting off, or go ahead and get that website up that you've been putting off again and again. So anything to get some extra income going, you might want to consider doing. Now, I would say Uber and stuff, but I'm not really sure about that, especially with the whole the C virus going around. And So you're gonna have to find something else that you can do and that is creative. Maybe it's an Etsy shop. Maybe you're a creative person and you know how to make things, and so you can create an Etsy store and sell your product there. Just think about what you're good at or what you've specialized in, and how can you create a product or a service out of that and sell that to the people, because a lot of people are going to be looking for things to do. I think honestly, this is the perfect time to do anything online. If there's any e-commerce business that you've been wanting to do, e-commerce is about to boom. We can't really be out and about, buying things. So people are going to do a lot of stuff online. So think about creating that side hustle that you've always, wanted to do. I think this is the perfect time to do it. And honestly, I think that is what's going to help people, generate extra income and kind of help prepare them or propel them through this recession is what I meant to say. Okay, guys, so those are the tips and things that my wife and I plan to do, and things you should be considering if you're watching this video. Again, I just want to leave off on this note that I take what is happening very serious. I know that this virus is causing a lot of panic and a lot of uncertainty. So what I really want to say is, be safe. Follow the precautions that the CDC and the government is putting out there. If you feel sick, stay away from folks, and take this time to really spend time with your family while you guys are kind of being quarantined, or while the whole world is being quarantined. And I want to say I don't take this lightly. However, a good friend of mine said that we have to separate what is happening with this virus from the economic and financial impacts and opportunities that we see. So and I think he's right when he said that. So I know people see others talking about taking advantage of the market and getting excited, and it's like, what type of person is that? But you can still be excited about the opportunities and have empathy for those who are struggling and want to help those who are struggling. So I think you can do both. And so what I want to leave off with is that I do take this very serious. However, at the same time, I want our people, and I want people to be able to build wealth, and this is the times where wealth is built. And so I don't want people to miss that opportunity. So all in all, guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you and for you, and you took some things away that you're going to start implementing and looking at when it comes to your financial situation. So again, if you like this video, please press the like button, as well as don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And as usual, guys, I will catch y'all next week. And in the meantime, stay blessed, stay cautious, and peace out.